Hey guys, and welcome to another speed build in The Sims 3. Today we're building a house called Sangria Sunset. It's kind of a beachy family home, and that name was actually given to me, Sangria Sunset, by someone who follows me on Twitter named Kylie. I don't exactly remember your Twitter name, but I will leave a link in the description because I thought that was an awesome name. I suck at coming up with names for houses, so I asked people on Twitter what I should call it, and she gave me a list of about 6 or 7 names, and Sangria Sunset was by far the best. So this is a family home, like I said. It's got about 4 bedrooms. You can see the family out the front there. And it took me so long to build this house, like they usually do. They always take me a ridiculous amount of time to build the house. I think in the end, I had like 10 hours of footage that I had to edit and like compress and speed up and everything. And so this will be a 3-part build, like my last one was, and each part is around like 20 minutes long, which is insane because I have to try and think of things to talk about for 20 minutes, which will be a challenge to say the least. So I originally, as you can see here, I'm building this house in Sunset Valley, which I do not keep it that way. After building this house and being like, wow, this is like so much more of a beach house than I intended it to be, I was like, why don't I just move it to Isla Paradiso? So it does get moved to Isla Paradiso a bit later in this part, I think. And the problem with that was when I originally built this house, well, you don't see right now, but all the windows to get the nice view are at the front of the house because in this lot here, they're facing the beach. But when I move it to Isla Paradiso, the house is facing the other way in terms of the view. So the view is behind the house, and I haven't put as many. Well, I hadn't designed it to put as many windows out the back, so that's a bit odd. But anyway, it's still an awesome house, and you can place it anywhere. You don't have to place it where I placed it in Isla Paradiso. It's on like a 30 by 30 lot. This lot here in Sunset Valley was 20 by 20, and then when I moved it to Isla Paradiso, it was a 30 by 30 lot. And now I'm just trying to muck around with the roofs. I mucked around with the roof so long, and you'll see in a second on the top part of the roof there. See here, I'm just trying to fix the walls in the house here because I wanted the roof to face a certain way, and using those single sloped roofs can be a real pain in terms of getting them to face the way you want them to. But I fixed it in the end, and I think there's a bit of a cut actually when I lost the footage of me actually changing the roof and changing the color of the roof, but it was only a few minutes of footage that I think I just forgot to press play, so it's not that big of an issue. And here, that looks weird, I don't keep that at all, but I just wanted it to face that way, but I had to have a perfect square to sit on, so I have to mess around with the walls a little bit more. And there's the cut I was talking about, where I randomly cut away, and now the roof is fixed. But here is me doing the wall colorings. Did I mention this? I didn't. I actually had a lot of issues with my game when I was building this. I had a lot of... when I went to save the game, it would just it wouldn't crash, it would just... You know when you go to save the game and then you press save and the little rotating thing comes up telling you it's saving? That would just happen forever. Like, it would just go on indefinitely, and it was really annoying because sometimes I think I would have fixed it and then I would go to save my game and it would just get stuck saving. And then sometimes I left it there because I'm like, oh, maybe it's just taken a while, but I left it there for like 3 hours once and it just didn't do anything. But that's all fixed now, which is good. It was just a corrupt file I had in my mods folder, so be wary of what you put in your folders. And here I'm messing around with the back of the house. I'm trying to make it so so I can put more windows in and it didn't look as weird, but I end up getting rid of whatever I'm doing here, so if you think it looks weird, so did I. But the colors of the house I really liked. I went for like a really vibrant beachy colors, and yeah, I just think they looked really good. And I actually had a lot of chances to get the colors right, because like I said, my game would keep crashing when I went to save, so I had done the wallpaper, the outside wallpaper of this house like 4 times before I was able to actually record it and save it properly, which which was handy because I was able to get it right, and it looks really good, I think, the colors, but it was really annoying at the time having to do it like 5 or 6 times. And here I'm doing the terrain paint, which I take forever to do, like I always do, because I like the terrain paint to look natural in a way, to look like it all fits together properly, and it's not just someone's splashed this stuff on the ground here. But in real life, it really wouldn't matter that much because you don't see things from this aerial view. Like it wouldn't look weird if it was, from the Sims view. But just when you look at everything from an aerial view, I like it to look nice. And I do add a little driveway here, as you can see, that I'm gonna put in a, what do you call them? I don't know what you would call that. A boat hold. Let's call it a boat hold. I put in a boat hold, and I know that's not what they're called, by the way. And here, doing terrain painting on a diagonal, like trying to get straight lines on a diagonal, was really difficult because it's just the way the blocks are and everything in the game. So if it looks a little weird, I think so too. And here I'm just adding in dirt where I'm going to put all the gardens. I probably went a little bit overboard in the gardens with this house, but I was like, yeah, it's a tropical house. But I probably could have done without a few of the bushes and things around that I did. I really don't know what to talk about. I knew this was going to happen. I'm surprised I've gotten 6 minutes into the build already, and this is the first time I've run out of things to talk about. Yeah, so Sims 4, that's a thing. That's coming out soon. There's only like just over a month until that happens. I should really talk about the build though. Here, I'm just adding more dirt, I guess. And then I do underneath the house in like a sandy kind of terrain paint, just so it didn't look as weird. I mean, you wouldn't have grass under a house, it just wouldn't grow. And then here I do the windows. On the metal parts here that you see, I do like the metal windows that you see, but when I do the wood paneling here, I do just white wood windows. And on the inside of even like the metal windows, I've done white wood on the inside, so from the inside of the house it doesn't look odd. The windows were another thing that I did about 5 times before my game would stop crashing and I had to redo them. So I knew exactly what windows I wanted to use and everything in the house. And these windows that I'm about to use here on the front, I don't exactly know where they came from. I should know, but I don't. Actually, I think I put those windows up there in first. And both of these windows, like those windows are up the very top, and these ones I'm about to put in, I'm pretty sure they're from like the Bauhaus collection, but I could be very wrong about that. And just recoloring them now so they're all silver on the outside and everything, and they don't look all weird. And I think that's about it with the windows. Oh, and then I've got to put in the doors. Doors are a tricky thing in The Sims. Well, in general, I don't like doing doors because I always think that they can make things look weird. But I don't mind the door that I used here. I used the same wood that I used on the floor there for the deck out the front. And I think I use that again for the stairs when I eventually recolor them. Oh, just moving a sim. And I have to move some windows and stuff here so I can try and get those stairs in because it was being weird. But I think I give up and then do the back and then I come back to it. Yeah, so here's the back stairs. As you can see, I don't know why I'm narrating that. Just running out of things to talk about. And then I have to move all these windows and everything so I can put in those stairs. And I do recolor them. They don't stay that color. Like everything, I recolor it. I must recolor it later. But these palm trees here, I really like. I think they came from Sunlit Tides. But I really, really like them. I just think they look really good. And here I'm doing the garden. Went for like all the tropical things. Tried to get some of those big plants in there. And then just heaps of shrubbery. It's not very colourful, the garden, because I wanted to go for more like I don't know, just a tropical, lush, green garden. And like I said before, I probably went a bit overboard in the end with all the big plants and everything. Especially that one at the very front of the house. I kind of blocks the view, but oh well, you can get rid of it if you want. I'm not one for landscaping. I don't love landscaping very much, especially when it comes to like the back of houses. That's why you see in this house I left it to the very, very end. I don't do like the backyard until the very end because I suck at doing like pools and things and making them look good. They always just look weird. And just more greenery. Some of those what are they called? Birds of paradise. I love those flowers. I used to have them in the house that I grew up in. We had a pool, and I remember there used to be a few birds of paradises around the pool. There's the boat hold I was talking about, that I don't know the actual name for. Like a boat trailer, I'm sure that's the word for it. It's probably more of a word for it than a boat hold. But there we go. Just doing a little bit more detailing underneath the trees and everything. And then I go to do the backyard, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this now. Just making the steps a little bit less of a weird color. God, I have no idea what to talk about. I'm sorry if this is getting boring. I still have like 10 more minutes. I should probably... I would have sped this up more, but I've already sped this up like 8 times, and if I was to go any faster, you wouldn't be able to see what I was doing at all. Well, here now we get to start on the inside of the house at least, putting in some doors and things. You see that, the wall there with the double archway? I do something cool with that in a bit that you'll see, but it doesn't stay like that. It becomes a little bit more open. And I wanted to put like not too dark, but not a light wood floor in the house. Like I want it to be like a nice, I don't know, like a nice medium brown color. And I go with something like that, and I use that throughout the entire house, like throughout all the bedrooms and everything, just so it's all coherent and everything. And these couches, I don't use them enough, but I really do like those couches. They're very beachy. And I'm deciding on like a feature chair to put in here. It's going to be colored like different to all the other chairs, but I don't think I keep that. So whatever you see now, that chair does not stay there. I go for a different chair, but I do make it like a blue stripe color. And the kind of beige color you see on the walls there, I don't keep that cream color either. I change that up. When I'm building a house, I just put in like, basic wallpaper and things, so I have something to start with, and then I'll put in a couch and be like, oh yeah, that's the couch I'm going to use, this wallpaper might look good with that couch kind of thing. So I don't try and confine myself to things, and you'll see that I go back and change things a lot throughout builds. Like even here, I changed the couch, that little rug, right at the very end, I go and change the rug hanging off the couch. And I don't keep these, what are they called? Coffee tables here. I had just used 2 coffee tables and then used move objects on to connect them together, but I changed that. And I do like what I did with the paintings here. Just 3 of the same kind, but I changed up the color to make it look like it was progressively getting darker. I mess around with it a bit, but it looks good in the end. And yeah, so there's that. And I've run out of things to talk about again. It's going to happen a lot. You'll also see that I've used the same paintings in the house quite a bit, and because there are only so many beachy themed paintings in the game, and there is actually one that now that I think about it, I've forgotten to use, which I probably should have used, but I didn't. And here I think is where I get rid of this wall, and I try and do something cool with archways and columns to make it, I don't know, in the end it looks really beachy and cool, but at first it's going to look a little bit weird because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of messing around with things. I had no plans to do this. I was just like, yeah, it looks too enclosed, so let's try and open it up a bit. And these columns here, I think they're from... I'm not going to say where they're from because I'll probably be wrong. And now I make it a little bit wider so I can put archways over each of the little gaps. And that archway there, I'm pretty sure is from... Ambition? Oh no, sorry, not Ambitions. What's it called? I can't even think. World Adventures. And I think that looks really, like beachy. Well, like kind of, not modern beachy, but kind of homely beachy. And I put in some shelves here, which usually I don't do because I hate trying to find things to clutter shelves with. There's only so many objects in The Sims 3 that you can really, use to clutter shelves. And I don't like to, use 2 of the same thing and things. But I spent a lot of time trying to clutter those shelves, which you will see soon. And here comes my least favorite thing in the entire Sims 3 is trying to recolor rugs. But in this house, I think most of the rugs are just plain, so So that's alright. And I was speaking prematurely because I placed the rug down and I didn't recolor it. But here is that feature chair I was talking about that becomes like a blue stripe color, which looks good when the rest of the house is, well, when the rest of the room is finished. At the moment it looks a little weird and out of place, but it looks good in the end. And I think now I'm just trying to find some things to place around the house. That plant there, the scuba diving dude, I didn't keep that, which I probably should have used it somewhere in the house because it didn't look bad. It was just too big. It just was kind of in the way. So I get rid of that, and I don't think I use it again in the house. And that rug does not stay like that. Here I'm doing the walls again, like I said, and I do like a feature wall here, kind of like a blue pattern. I don't know what kind of pattern you would call that, though. It's not like paisley. It's more, I don't know, classical. I don't know what you'd call that pattern. And then the rest of the room I do like a turquoise color, which I think just brings it together. It makes it look a little bit more, I don't know. It looks better. It looks better like that. And now I'm just making it so the couches don't look like they're made out of plastic. And the rug I just go for like a, well, I wanted to find like a shag rug thing, but I don't think they have that. Well, they definitely don't have that in The Sims 3. And if I was to go and download like a custom texture, I have a feeling it would look weird, so I just went for like a, kind of like a Swedish looking rug. And then I think soon I get rid of those coffee tables instead of trying to mess around with them, because I don't keep them at all. I just wish I'd get rid of them already, because it's a waste of time. So much of this is just like me recoloring things and then spending 10 minutes recoloring it. Spending 10 minutes recoloring it and then deciding that I hate it and then deleting it and then trying to find something else. Or here I'm placing like a little table and things. So I can place like a fancy lamp, which I end up really liking the lamp that I did, which I think I do it in a second. After I do the table, probably. And, oh, not that table, this table. And then I make it white. And then I'm recoloring the thing again. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. I've completely lost track of what I'm doing at this stage. Here's the lamp that I use, maybe. And then I recolor it. And it becomes like, well, I don't even remember the pattern that I use. But it becomes like a blue, yeah, like that. And you can see it. I don't need to tell you. But I did really like the lamp. I actually really don't like most of the lamps that they actually have in The Sims 3. I don't know. I always want to use a very specific lamp that I have in my head, and I can never find it. But it worked out alright. Just messing around with some things a bit more. My voice is getting a little bit tired. I've been talking for like 18 minutes. Well, there's not long left now. Just doing the rug. I think that rug, yeah, I don't keep that rug at all. Well, that's about it for this speed build video, guys. I do hope you like this house. And if you do, don't forget to like this video and to leave me a cheeky comment down below. I love to hear feedback from you guys on whether you like my builds or not, and whether you think I should keep doing speed build videos like this, or I should go back to doing like the time-lapse sort of videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see the rest of this speed build series. They should be up in the next few days from when this video is posted. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next part.